Hi, Ms. Nightingale. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you very much. This is a great rally.
Absolutely. What brings you out here, though, today?
To make sure that people understand liberty and understand that what we have not lived in is capitalism. We haven't lived in capitalism unless you were born before the 1900s. You don't know what capitalism is. We've been in socialism since the Federal Reserve, 1913. So I was out here to make sure that people understood that we need to end the Federal Reserve. It's not about taxing the rich and class warfare, because what that will do is divide us. If they divide us, they conquer us. What we need to do is we need to come together and say, end the Fed.
Do you think that a majority, or at least say some of these protesters out here, might have it wrong on what the problem actually is?
You know what? Actually, I've had really good conversations with people. We all agree on the war, and we all agree on the Federal Reserve. What they don't understand is that one of the communist planks is a central bank. So when you say to them, you want to end the Federal Reserve, therefore you actually don't support one of the communist planks. What I've noticed is that people all feel the same thing. They're frustrated. You know, they're frustrated on the...
the New World Order!
They're frustrated on the banks, they're frustrated on the corporations, and rightfully so. That is the problem. The Bilderbergs, the CFR, that they're on the right track. It's just little things that they don't know, because look, we've all been indoctrinated.
Right.
You know, I once believed exactly what they believe too. I once, you know, years ago, college days, would have said tax the rich. But the rich, the elite powerful, aren't going to be taxed. What they're going to do is they're going to hide it in shelters, they're going to hide it in offshore banking, political favors, aka corruption. They're not going to be taxed. What's going to be taxed is the middle, so-called middle class. You know, say $200,000 a year, they're going to classify that as rich. You know, it's going to wipe out small business owners. It's going to wipe out basically everyone, and it's really the road to serfdom. You know, where you're either going to be part of the slave class or part of the elite. They do have that right. 1% are the elite, and they don't care about us one way, shape, or form. Perfect example, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is out there saying, tax the rich, tax the rich. She's one of the wealthiest people in the entire country. You know, her and her husband, actually, their wealth increased 65% last year.
Same thing as Michael Moore, who owns like 200 million.
Exactly. Do you really think they're going to be taxed? They know the people that are going to help them hide their money. It's going to be the average citizen that has not part of their elite thinking. Gibson Guitar, here's a perfect example. Gibson Guitar, I'm sure he has money, right? But he's not one of them. He has more libertarian principles. So they're trying, the Obama administration's trying to take out Gibson Guitars. They've been harassing them, trying to put them out of business. That's what's going to happen.
I was wondering if you can speak to the fact that Obama has twice in the last week, he's made two policy decisions that have been really egregious and not well thought out. One of them, of course, was the ordering of the murder of Anwar al-Awlaki, and the other one was his trampling on the 10th Amendment, ordering all medical marijuana dispensaries to shut down.
Well, you know what? This is where the people need to rise up. First of all, when I ran for governor, that was one of my platforms, the 10th Amendment. But unfortunately, we have people in office throughout this country, governors, who are part of that whole system. They're not going to do anything. Governor Brown, where are you? If I would have been governor, the feds wouldn't have been coming in this state raiding the facilities. I said that was a 10th Amendment issue. That was up to the people, and it's legal in this state. So what are the feds doing in this state? That is why I'm part of a board of a new organization. I want to give it a plug to Free America Now. We bought all the domain names for Free America Now. We're working on our website. It is Sheriff Richard Mack, myself, Clyde Cleveland, Jerry Donaldson, Gary Franchi. We have Michael Bandinerick as our executive director, and we have some other people on the board as well. We've been getting great advice from G. Edward Griffin. What we're going to do, Sheriff Mack, is we're actually hosting a convention, well, we want to, in Las Vegas, and we're raising funds for it right now, and it is to train sheriffs the Constitution and to tell them that they have more power than the federal government, because really, besides the governor, we need the sheriffs in this state to be whatever counties that they're raiding the facilities in. The sheriffs should be going in there and kicking them out and arresting them.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, I mean, really, we could talk about all of Obama's policies, and that's the one thing I've been encouraged to see here. No matter if you're libertarian-minded or think you're a socialist here.
I think you're a socialist. Now, you said it right now.
Exactly.
You think you're a socialist.
They think they're socialists. They all agree Obama is, he's wrong. He's wrong. He's George Bush, Obama, Clinton, George Bush Sr., they're all the same. They get their money from the same people. And that's where people have to understand it's not them, it's who's the puppets, who's controlling them. And you have to do your research. The Bilderbergs, the Council on Foreign Relations, George Soros. George Soros, as a matter of fact, MoveOn.org. Ask yourselves as you're holding up signs that are professional, that have cost money, where did that come from? Where did that money come from?
I was asking that same question, too. Where is this getting funded at?
Exactly.
Somewhere.
And trust me, George Soros is a multi-billionaire who's not going to be taxed. He's not one of us. He's one of the people who wants us to be a serf. It is divide and conquer. Have this class warfare that they think they're having, the race divide, the everything divide, so that they can conquer us. We as people need to unite. And our common ground is ending the Fed, getting out of socialism. Corporatism is not capitalism. You have to learn Austrian economics. I highly recommend F.A. Hayek's Road to Serfdom, or read, not Ron Paul, excuse me, but Ron Paul.
Is it a fair guess you will be supporting Ron Paul?
Well, I guess that was a Freudian slip there. But G. Edward Griffin's Creature from Jekyll Island. You have to read, you have to educate yourselves, people. Quit watching the media. They're lying to you. They're controlled. They're not telling you the truth. We don't have capitalism. We have corporatism. Unless you were born before the 1900s, you've never lived in capitalism.